Hey, what's going on? If you are watching this, on Facebook, YouTube, whatever the case may be, let's go on ahead and get people sharing. Let's go on ahead and share. Welcome to another episode of Triggered with Instructor Mike and friends. I am Instructor Mike, and these are the wonderful friends. And we got a special guest who's also a friend of the show, Dominic. The wonderful friend. Wait, I hear me in me. That sounds bad. Okay. And we got Marquise, John, Jacob. We're just missing Jingleheimer and KD. That was lame. All right, guys, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, hope everybody has a great night. My name is Jacob Knoll. My training company is called Viper Defense down in Southern Illinois in a 618 area code. And hope we have a good show tonight.
Absolutely. Whoever else is next. Rock, paper, scissors. Shit.
I'll take it away. Hey, everyone. I'm Dominic Cattanella. I'm an account executive for Delta Defense, service provider to the United States Concealed Carry Association. I'm also a USCCA certified instructor, as well as a former Chicago police officer. And actually, Jacob, I got some good news for you. We just hired a new rep to cover the Southern Illinois portion of the state. His name is Goldie Robinson. Let's get you hooked up and get him in your classroom. Talk about the USCCA and how it benefits your students.
Yeah, outstanding. That'd be great. Thanks. That's the first I've heard of that. Thanks for letting me know.
Good to know.
You talking about the official partner program?
Yes, sir. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what. I was talking to you guys about 2 weeks ago about that, right before Christmas, I think.
Goldie Robinson is your man.
Have him give me a call. Cool.
Outstanding. I love it. You see how it works with
networking
this.
At its finest.
Yes, when things just comes together, it's like rain. It happens. All right, guys. John or Marquise, rock, paper, scissors.
I win.
Uh-oh.
John with Guardian Concepts. We are based out of Bourbonnais, Illinois. Currently, we are in Vegas for SHOT Show. I am in a taxi at the moment.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to kind of be somewhat quiet while we're in the taxi. But Mike's obviously got all our information on the banner. So if you got questions, obviously you want to know more about what we do, hit us up. I'm sure Mike will bring up the class, the big class that we have coming up. He'll put that flyer up on the screen. Highly encourage everyone to jump on that. Do not sleep on that class. Let's have a good night tonight.
Situational awareness.
This is funny. Najib Muhammad says, anybody else hungry? I don't know if that's a troll or is anybody else hungry. That is crazy. But thank you for that, Najib. That was crazy. All right, Marquise, what's up? Usually when we start the show, Marquise is coming from a class of doing awesome things with folks. So, yeah.
Yes. So, what's going on, everybody? I know you can't see me except for my hands. This is literally how black people are seeing in the dark.
So, that's it.
If I do this a lot, maybe you'll show my face. But anyway, my name is Marquise Miranda with P6 Firearms Training and Education. We teach the Illinois Concealed Carry courses, advanced courses, rifle courses, shotgun. If you can shoot it, we pretty much teach it, as well as advanced courses, as well as knife and de-escalation courses. And coming soon, more force-on-force classes. And this weekend, we have an RSO course for those of you who are looking to make extra money by working at a gun range or maybe helping out an instructor at an outdoor range. We're also doing that course on the 22nd. That's going to be in Matson, Illinois.
Outstanding. All right. So before we go on ahead and dive right into it, I was supposed to have this done up already. Lord Jesus. Oh, okay. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and introduce that just a little bit later. All right, here we go. You said, "Hey, Mr. JD. Hi, Mr. JD. This is Johnny." What does that mean?
He found me. That's one of my. Yeah, that's one of my students.
Okay, because okay, all right, okay. All right. All right. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, let's go on ahead and share this conversation because we are honored to have a guest friend of the show, Dominic Cantanella. So if you got questions about the USCCA, here you go on deck. And Dominic can go on ahead and talk about that. So without any further ado, sir, take it away.
Oh, I'm just winging with it. For those of you that do not know, the USCCA, they're a national organization. Number is growing every single day. They're sitting at about 647,000 members across the entire country. Their primary focus is to provide you guys with additional education and training outside of what you guys got in your concealed carry license class, whether it was a 16-hour class here in Illinois or the 3-hour renewal class that you got to take every 5 years. And then as an added bonus, God forbid you're ever involved in one of those self-defense incidents, the USCCA is going to go to bat for you, provide the tools and resources that you're going to need to fight off that criminal and or civil case that in the event that it does arise. That was it in a nutshell. Stop into a class or give me a holler anytime and I can, give you some further details on it. But I'm here for the discussion. I want to hear what you guys have to say and engage in, with some of these situations that you guys are going to be talking about real soon.
JFB said, Dominic, why do they make it so hard to log in? I don't know if that's a question that he can even answer. That's weird. It's like a tech.
To log in, it's your email is your username, and you create your own password. I don't know
how. Yeah. That's it. All right. So we are going to discuss situational awareness. But before we get into discussion of situational awareness, because that is definitely a conversation that we need to have. And if you all have any questions regarding concealed carry, go on ahead and put those questions out there. And we will be glad to answer those questions. Speaking of questions, what kind of oil do you use to clean your firearm? Here we go. I'm about to trigger Marquise. Here we go.
Hoppies.
You said hoppies? All right. I'm going to answer your question, Jenny. Here we go. Radco Gun Lube. Radco Gun Lube is for cleaning, lubricating, and short-term preservation of small and large caliber military weapons and including firearms operating from temperature ranges of -51 to 71 degrees Celsius, or from -60 degrees to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. As a cleaner, it's formulated to keep small and large caliber weapons performing in the harshest conditions. It exceeds U.S. government CLP military specifications, approved for use in extreme environments. If you operate your pistol in that extreme environment, including cold, salt, and dust, also acts as a lubricant, helps weapons perform continuously at maximum firing rate without incident, proven in extreme conditions with a fire rate of 650 rounds a minute. I don't even know if some of you all shoot that much. We may as instructors, but still need to know that information, right? Here we go. Zero stoppages. And as a preservative, trusted by the United States military and approved by the United States government to keep their weapons battle ready. Let Radco CLP Gun Lube, a business that's been in business for 50 years, help protect your weapon. Government qualified, QPL, manufactured and supplied by Radco Industries Incorporated. All right, so get some Radco Gun Lube. Not the only lube that's out there, but definitely something you should give it a try. I know I did. It worked pretty good in my gun, and I'm pretty much a shooter all the time, but I can always use great stuff. So let's go. Oh, yep, there we go. All right. Let's dive into it. Situational awareness. Dude. Can't tell you how many times I've seen things come across the TV and in the news of people who have concealed carry or even don't have concealed carry being in places where it makes them a target of opportunity. If you live in Chicago, and y'all see me all the time in the car, I got to be honest and say it's a bad habit for me, but you are where you are, and you record where you record. The car is probably not the safest place in certain cases to stay in when you're in Chicago. I hate to say it. I think that's a real thing. What do you guys think about that?
As far as what? Being in the car?
Yeah.
So my thing is, when it comes to your vehicle, limit how much time you're in your vehicle doing nothing. And I think that's the difference. You know, I feel like getting in your car, getting your, I've already said the same thing on the show when we said multiple times about situational awareness and getting in your car is, have your plan. What is your plan when you get in your car? All right, you get in your car, you close the door, you lock it. Okay. Let's talk about the fact that, are you a double clicker? Whenever you go towards your car, are you double clicking the unlock button to get inside of it? In my personal opinion, I think that's dumb, because why would you unlock all your doors when you don't need all your doors unlocked?
Right.
Then you get your behind in the car, close the door, lock the door, set up your phone that is in its quote unquote hands-free cradle, start the car, put on your seatbelt, get on your ass, get on your way to where you need to go.
Right.
Bottom line. I've already said it, I think, on, again, shows before, turn off those amenities that really aren't amenities. Like, for example, your car going into park, unlocking your doors. Turn it off. There's never a need for all 4 of your doors to become unlocked because you put your car in park.
Right. Exactly.
Folding mirrors. Again, turn that stuff off. There's no need for it to happen, so you can have a least amount of visibility walking towards your car.
And tell them about the seatbelt extender, because I had to say that I followed Marquise's advice on the last show where I was talking about I hate something about the seatbelt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still wear it, but he was like, get a seatbelt extender. I went and got that seatbelt extender. I was like, dude, yes, because now I have access to my firearm and the seatbelt. I have access to it, and he was right about that. Even though it's kind of awkwardly positioned, it takes just a little getting used to, because it's like the release buckle is on my stomach.
Yep.
Instead of it being on your side. But you definitely have access to it. You don't have to worry about your seatbelt buckle being in the way of that firearm. So it is more comfortable. Just takes some getting used to. If you all have comments, make sure that you please put them in the comment feed so we can go on ahead and talk about that, because there's a couple of great comments, questions that are up here too. Anybody else want to add any value to that? Staying in the car or anything like that? I know John is in the car on his way to the.
Oh, I'm in the car and the head's on a swivel, at all times, because guess what? I'm in an area I have no clue where the hell I'm at right now.
Well, yeah, for sure. But you're not.
So
look, tell Deputy Dangle from the guys from Reno 911.
Deputy Dangle.
Yeah,
he's got his short shorts and his cowboy boots on.
Oh my
plus
God!
side is that I'm not driving. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I get to keep an eye on things and obviously keep my situational awareness up where it needs to be.
Facts.
It's obviously a lot harder when you are driving.
Yeah.
So, but it's very paramount when it comes, obviously, being in the car. What was it, 2,400 carjackings in Chicago last year? Was right around the number that we had gotten recently.
Around that ballpark, yeah.
No, that was in one weekend.
Yeah, tell me about it. But
I think that's called Tuesday.
It's
Tuesday.
It's just that situational awareness. Everyone falls into their normal routines. They become complacent. They, you know what I mean? They go to the same coffee shop. They go to the same grocery stores. They never switch up their routines. So anyone can sit there and keep an eye on you and watch your routines. And then before you know it, they're storming you while you're going to park in your garage.
Yeah. Because
you didn't change anything up. So you got to get used to switching things up. I get it's inconvenient sometimes, but it's the world we live in. And you guys got to learn to understand that you have to evolve as the world evolves.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it.
Yeah. It's like you exercise muscles by going to the gym and lifting weights or doing push-ups. You have to exercise your brain to learn how to think. If you're new to this, you literally have to rethink how to learn how to think to pay attention. So staying off your phone as much as you can in public. Maybe if you're going to your car at night, there's nothing wrong with having a flashlight in your hand. Already have it in your hand and do a real quick light sweep in front of you, or around obstacles or whatever. It's always having that, being aware of your bubble, your reactionary gap and what's in that gap. And if you see something way up in front of you, don't think, oh, I got to go walk through that crowd of people. Well, I don't have to. If I see them, remember this: space equals time, time equals life. Always remember that. So the more space between me and a potential threat, the more time I have to come up with a plan and potentially react or change my plan. And then that increases my chances of staying alive. So that's why I say space equals time, time equals life.
That's true.
And the only way you can do that is if you're paying attention to your surroundings and paying attention to what's going on around you.
Yeah. John, are you at tacos? I don't need to know. I don't need to know. What goes on in Vegas literally needs to stay in Vegas. I was just asking if you were at tacos, and we can't hear you.
I'm out on the side of the street right now, so ain't none of that happening right out here in the middle of the street, okay?
No. I said tacos. I didn't say, look, I didn't say you were on the strip, literally. I mean, you're okay, never mind. Oh, shit.
I'm down by Fremont Street.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that at all.
But what's the possibility we get John on one of those swinging slides while on the actual podcast tonight?
Oh Lord, that's it.
Hey, depending on how long we're on, maybe I'll go do the zip line down Fremont Street while live.
That's what I was referring to. That would be badass.
See, I'm not about that Vegas life. I have never been, so I have to go. Apparently.
All right. Let me jump in here real quick when it comes to situational awareness.
Sure.
It's amazing how culture has kind of twisted the way we think and how we're not supposed to react and stuff. And I bring this up in a lot of your classes when I'm talking to your students, is how often when we're sitting on maybe the bus or the train, when that person that gets on that maybe looks a little sketchy, how often do we actually just look up at them and say, hey, how are you? Or making contact with that person, or making eye contact, or maybe having a conversation. If that individual got onto a bus and all 30 people looked at him straight forward and said, hey, how are you today? Something along those lines. Do you think that guy would be committing a crime or potentially, doing that hold up or that stick up or that robbery or anything like that? Right. It wouldn't happen. The days of, walking out of a building and maybe just checking left, checking right, just to see who's on that block before you walk into your car in the first place. Those days are done. You see these young teenagers walking on the street, their faces are glued in their phones. They have no idea what's going on around them. And those are the victims that are subject to these crimes every single day. If they would just open their eyes and kind of look around, half of this stuff wouldn't even happen.
That's right. That's exactly right. You can avoid 99% of the trouble if you just have good situational awareness. If you're in condition yellow, and I don't know if, we can talk about that later if you want to, but yeah, being in condition yellow for the majority of your waking time can solve 99% of the problems.
Absolutely. Dom, you got a question on board. And then Tanisha, we're going to answer your questions too, because I love your questions about the seatbelt extension and about the red dot. That's cool. All right, Dominic, can you walk me through what happens on the USCCA side after a shooting?
All right. So what happens on the USCCA side? Before that even gets that is, God forbid you ever are in a self-defense incident. This is not legal advice by any means, but this is coming just from a former Chicago police officer. Everything you say and do will be used against you in a court of law. I hate to say it, but I say it in every single class that I'm at. Don't get offended, but when the police do arrive on scene and they start asking you questions, you need to shut up. I mean, you're the victim in this case. Just tell them, hey, I'm the victim of a crime. I'm more than willing to sign complaints against that individual. But for the time being, what I'd like right now is just to speak with my attorney just for my well-being, my safety. Okay. And if you can remove yourself from the element, if you can get out of there, get out of there. Go to a hospital. You're going to have that adrenaline dump. Your heart's going to be racing a mile a minute. That's plenty enough time for either your attorney or a USCCA attorney to get by your side. So after you've eliminated yourself from the element or removed yourself from that chaotic scene that you just encountered, you're going to make a call to the USCCA as a member, and you're going to speak with somebody from their critical response team. It's headed up by a young lady by the name of Corey Feeble. She's phenomenal at what she does. There's a team. It's called the Bat Phone. They answer this thing 24/7. They are trained in crisis management, and they specialize in handling the aftermath of a self-defense incident. The first thing that they're going to do is either getting you in contact with your attorney if you have one. If not, it's one of those, critical response attorneys that we have vetted, that the USCCA has vetted across the entire country. I want to say it's at about 1,200 right now. 110 of them are right here in the state of Illinois. That being said, they're going to get him rolling, even if it's Christmas Eve, 3 o'clock in the morning. He's going to be headed down to the police station, wherever you're at, and he's going to make sure that you don't say anything or get yourself jammed up in anything. If in case you are arrested, your bail will be posted, and then as a member of the USCCA, those attorney fees, they're going to be covered in their entirety for the life of your criminal and or your civil case. So that's kind of a nutshell of how everything works. I know there's a lot of ins and outs, and that's a conversation to have with one of these attorneys that I have a close relationship with. Mike, you have it as well. Dave McDermott. We're planning on doing a legal seminar with him later on, so you can learn about all the legal aspects of what he does after the USCCA has to call on somebody like himself. But phenomenal at what he does. Hate to not say this, but knock on wood, Dave McDermott, who is one of those USCCA attorneys in his 24 years of being a trial defense attorney, he has never lost a single self-defense case. So we're happy to say that, he's mine, but he can be one of yours as well.
All right, great deal. He asked another question. Are the attorneys provided usually good, and how do I go about picking one?
You know what? That's an excellent opportunity. There is a network of attorneys right there available for you. And all you got to do is just type in your zip code. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, so-and-so attorney, I'd like to swing by your office and have a conversation with you. And you can talk to this person for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Tell him that you're a USCCA member. He's going to be more than welcome to have him in there. If this is a right fit for you, if you guys can see eye to eye, you can select him on your dashboard as a USCCA member to say, hey, this is the attorney that I want you guys to contact in the event that I'm involved in a self-defense incident. If not, move on to the next one. There's nothing wrong with that. I know personally, for me and Mike Brown, ours is Dave McDermott. We're calling Dave just because of how well he handles these particular cases.
Outstanding. All right, here we go. So there were some other questions here that we are going to go back to. Tanisha, you asked, where do we get the seatbelt extension? You get it from Amazon is one place. I got it from O'Reilly's. It was O'Reilly's Auto Parts. That's where I got it from. So
Really?
Yeah. Yep. O'Reilly's Auto Parts, AutoZone.
Wow.
Yeah, aftermarket seatbelt extension.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Tanisha asked another question, and I'm going to get you Ivan Kahena. I hope I said your name right. Tanisha, what are your opinions regarding red dots on carry guns? I know Key carries a red dot
every day.
Yep, Key carries a red dot. I had a red dot.
I carry a red dot.
Yeah, John carries a red dot. Jacob's like, fuck dots, sights.
I don't yet. I'm getting to the point with my eyesight, wearing bifocals for the last 6 or 7 years. I'm probably getting to that point where I'm going to have to transition to a red dot. But I'm just so old and set in my ways, and knowing that most self-defense shootings occur in 3 yards or less, where I can point shoot or use a flash sight picture. Right now, I'm just kind of gambling that I fall on the good side of those odds.
Yeah.
I got nothing against red dots, but it's a whole new thing. You're going to have to relearn.
Yeah, it's a learning curve that you'll have to get used to.
That's exactly what I was going with it. Just like it's like a brand new firearm, you need to practice with those. And even when it comes to just taking out of its holsters, I'm seeing a lot of people getting those things snagged on maybe like strings, or they got those like elastic bands that are attached to your hoodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A little tiny piece of plastic that's sticking off your firearm could be detrimental in getting this thing up on target in a quick amount of time. So you got to practice.
The reason why I carry appendix.
That's the reason.
Even with, just keep this in mind, whoever asked that question, even if you do choose a red dot, you still need to learn how to be proficient with iron sights, with open sights, in case that red dot goes down, or in case you find yourself having to protect yourself with a firearm that does not have a red dot. Yeah. So, just keep that in mind.
Me personally, since I do carry with a dot every day, it does help with fast sight acquisition, but my backup sights are lower thirds. So they're not necessarily directly set up on the dot, which some people like. I don't. I like both of my systems to be separate. The lower third helps with exactly what Jacob was just saying, like, you know, staying on point with both irons and your optics at the exact same time does, you know, it'll keep you out of that loop of, you know, wanting to be forced to stay with one thing. You get to use both. You'll be able to use both, and you won't have to sacrifice spacing for that.
Yeah. Yeah, my experience. First of all, I want to give a shout out to James Hawthorne, who is 18 minutes. Marquise is back. I'm hearing an echo. Oh, that's John, because you're trying to order food and stuff. No, that's good. You're not trying to order food. It's so wonderful where he is in Vegas. It's so beautiful. It comes through the screen. I get it.
I'm going next year. Next year.
Shouts out to J Hustle, James Hawthorne. You guys go follow him. He's 18 minutes free from Facebook jail. What's up, Selly? Oh my God. He asked a very important question, and Katie is on deck. What's going on? He asked a very important question, and hoping you got your answer regarding the red dots. I got my opinion about the red dot, and we're going to come back to that because I want to get Katie and Marquise's opinions and even facts on the red dot. Because if it
wait. One thing, they don't fog if you have a good one. They won't fog.
You said they won't fog if you have a good one?
Yeah, if you have a good optic, they won't fog. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
I'm about to say, because I had the Sig Romeo and mine fog.
Oh, first of all,
I have yet to see it.
Let's discontinue that right now. Anything that has the ability to fog is going to fog. Glass is going to fog if the weather is cold enough for that glass to fog. Fogging literally happens based on how clean the lens is or how clean the glass is. So think about a person who shoots a red dot all the time and they got carbon buildup. Guess what they're going to have when it gets cold outside?
Fog.
They're going to have a lot of damn fog.
Oh,
so you got to think about.
I have yet to see that.
And you got to think about that your firearm is upside your body, which is warm. And then you pull it out in the element, just like your eyeglasses.
Yep.
You go from outside to inside.
So glass treatment will determine if it's going to fog or how much it does fog.
Right.
Because think about it.
You ever, like, for example, think about for like airsoft and paintball. There are things called anti-fogging masks. Guess what those masks still do in cold weather?
Oh, yes, they do.
Fog the hell up.
They're not made of the same glass though.
But what I'm saying,
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's an anti.
You got the tempered glass that they place on these optics for a reason. It's kind of like the main thing, right? Like I've never seen that. I have yet to see that.
Key never doesn't mean ever. Don't doesn't mean
That's
won't.
Fair.
And
that's fair.
You see what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, So you haven't experienced it, but I have. And you know, it's like even with glasses that say anti-fog, and the next thing you know,
it's fogging, especially shooting. But I say y'all been on Bravo before when it was freezing cold over there. I don't know. I have it hasn't happened to me over there.
Yes. Now I will sit there and say this, and you guys keep asking your questions and share. Throw the likes up there, loves, emojis, share this conversation because there's a lot of good stuff coming out of it. I will tell you my experience with the red dot. So, you know, my experience with it was I got to give Marquise again flowers, you know, whatever the case may be. We got to have a man saying because he gave him no flowers. Got to give you a I don't know.
My rounds?
No, that sounds deadly. No, hell no. Okay, screw it. Let me give you a box of ammo. Got to give you a box of ammo. All right, here we go. Let me give him his boxes of ammo while he's here. But I will say this: if it wasn't for Marquise, I would have had more trouble than I did with the red dot because he was like just naturally just bring it up to your eyesight. And I was like, all right, then that's what helped it. One of the things that I hated about the red dot, which is why I went back to my irons, was I found myself. So if you shoot with the red dot, you got to consistently practice with that red dot over and over and over and over again. You can't have a break because when you have a break, you're going to fall back to whatever you did with irons, and they're not necessarily the same thing. You're going to find yourself chasing the dot.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this.
If you're not being target focused.
When you're shooting with your irons, are you point shooting or are you target shooting?
It depends on what I'm doing. Well,
context.
I would say, context is definitely in that category.
Because my thing is, wherever I'm looking at, and here we go, context. I learned this from a SEAL, not a SEAL that I know, a SEAL that I watched on YouTube, and it made sense.
Sammy the SEAL for $49.95. Oh,
What
what
a
a deal is Sammy.
Nah. But I watched this from a SEAL, and I've always done it. I just didn't know what to call it in their terminology. He said, all you're doing is staring at the back of that base plate. And I used to always call it the finger. You're just taking the finger and pointing. It's the same context where you're just pointing. And he was like, if you're staring at the back of that base plate, put that base plate. And I don't have a replica firearm around. Wait, do I? Whatever. All right. Look at the back of that base plate and put that base plate center of mass wherever you're looking and just shoot.
Because that was my problem with the red dot. I picked up a friend of mine's red dot, and it took me almost 5 minutes to either find the red dot in there. So I'm looking all kind of crazy ways, and I'm like, never mind.
So this is what I'm gonna say, and this will help out the conversation. The problem with red dot and people who start going to red dot, and again, this is no dig on anybody. If this is sound like I'm talking about you, whether you're a listener or whether you're on the panel, I apologize, but it's just what's real.
We are all learning.
If you take into account all the repetitions you put in with iron sights, you get a red dot, and you're thinking that the red dot should be just faster than what you've been training for years with. It becomes asinine. You got surgical with iron sights through years of practice. People buy a red dot and expect to be Annie Oakley in a month. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Now, don't get it twisted. I can get you really damn good in 4 hours. I can, and I've proven it. I can get you really good with a red dot in 4 damn hours. The problem is that I'm not showing you truly how to just use a red dot. I'm also showing you the body mechanics on drawing your firearm, so then that way you're using your natural point of aim and you're not chasing the dot. Yeah. Because what tends to happen, and you've seen it, they draw that, and again, we're talking about drawing the gun. We're not talking about, well, I'm at the range and I'm pointing my gun and I got time to look. No, not that shit, okay? I'm talking about true drawing from the holster. When you draw from that holster and people are learning red dot, the first thing they do is they put the gun up and then they do this.
Yeah.
Now, realistically speaking, if you drew, I'd rather you move your head to see where the dot is. Move your head to see where the dot is, so then now you know where your natural point of aim is. Don't move the gun to find the dot. Move your eyes to see where you're naturally pointing. And then you fix your natural point of aim. And damn, I just gave that away. That's part of the class. Shit, that was free. But that's the thing. You know, that's what you're looking at, is the red dot teaches you things that you would never recognize by just naturally drawing your gun.
Right.
Because the better you get rid of red dot, I promise you, I will take the Pepsi challenge or whatever you want to say, that I promise you, if you take the time to get good with a red dot, your natural point of aim with iron sights is going to just really escalate.
1,000%.
Just like, I would almost say 1,000%. But
then you can graduate to the green dot.
Wait,
and don't tell them about the magical gold dot. Don't tell them. Don't tell them yet.
Nah, that you're right. The magical green dot costs a lot of money too, though.
Oh man,
because they literally charge you more for the color green.
I absolutely love that.
Better on their eyes.
No iron sights at all, just a green dot.
Yeah. Like, for example, have you guys ever seen like videos where people are talking about aiming the gun with no sights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have these videos. I'm like, dude, stop bragging that you're aiming a gun with no sights because you took the sights off.
Right.
You have worked the body mechanics
on
drawing this gun and pointing this gun that your natural biting mechanics are the reason you're not using sights.
It all comes down to your muscle memory.
Yeah.
Marquise, you're 100% correct.
Dominic, I love you.
Just committed a sin.
There's no such thing as muscle memory.
They're not in shooting, no.
No, period. Muscles don't have memory. It's called myelination.
Yep.
Myelination builds habits, and you have a lot of habits in ways you do things. If muscles had memories, when a person dies, their bowels will stay in their body.
And when a person has a stroke, they don't have to remember how to walk because there should be memory contained in that muscle tissue.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the nicer way of putting it. I'm gonna start doing that now.
Right. Right.
Hey guys, I'm gonna interject real quick. I'm gonna have to bow out.
You say you got a bow wow?
Yeah.
Well, if you got a
leaving
bow,
us?
if you got a bow wow, well, he is in Vegas.
John, don't forget about
Are you
me.
about to eat?
Yes.
Okay.
John, don't forget about me.
He's about to eat.
No.
Are you at SHOT Show?
We're not gonna see the
Yes.
place.
I need those pics, John. I need them.
Yes, Key. I got your pics of Shadow Systems booth.
Oh, thank God.
No, that's cute.
That DR920p, I need it.
I will stay on until the food gets here.
I was SHOT Show.
SHOT Show is phenomenal. We are day 2 in the SHOT Show right now. I have met with several different vendors, setting up direct purchase agreements, where we will be carrying their products either in class or via our website, that you can purchase directly from us. From holsters to ladies' concealment options, concealment leggings for the ladies.
Nice.
Ones that are either holstered in the webbing of the leggings around their waist, or ones that come with belt loops to where you can mount your own belt and then obviously carry accordingly. I did even acquire a vendor for the ladies' concealment purses. We love those so much. And then, all right, Austin Powers, calm down, Dr. Evil.
1 million.
Hey, is Filster there?
What?
Filster? Is Filster there? They make holsters.
Filster? I have not seen them as of yet, but I've only gotten through about 2/3 of SHOT Show. So it's been an excessive amount of walking. So if you are ever going to come to SHOT Show, you better be fully prepared with good shoes and your feet to hurt, your shins to hurt. If you're old, you're screwed.
I've heard there's like 6 miles of stuff set up.
No, more than that. 18 acres of vendors.
Wow. Hey, is it
what they have broke it down to?
Any brass vendors, if you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You got some cars?
Literally probably 50 vendors in that category.
Hey,
I'm about to say federal.
Could you
federal.
make sure that you get some information for us folk that couldn't make it to SHOT Show?
I got tons of information. You got to tell me who you want information from.
I need brass vendors.
Bro, 50 vendors are here.
Okay.
Just for brass.
If not,
I can't go talk to all 50.
I'll call you after this sometime. I don't want to get him put off. You know what I mean? That's what I'm like. Yeah,
oh man,
we'll talk.
But yeah, you know what I mean. Like there are seriously 50 vendors here. So like I told Marquise, I told a lot of Mike Brown. You know what I mean? If there's somebody you want me to go talk to while I'm here, let me know, and I will go. You know what I mean? Make contact, get contact info for you. So that way you have a direct contact to get in touch with someone.
We'll talk to High Point. Tell them stop it.
No, don't tell them stop it. Tell them we need a new C9.
Tell stop it.
Stop it. I did see
High
Point is
Point
here.
The boat convention is coming up.
Here. I did not stop at their booth. I kept walking. Not even gonna lie.
Does anybody stop at their booth?
You should have asked them if they had a USPSA, open gun. Come on, we need one of those. The market needs it.
y'all ain't shit today.
I wonder if the things that they would get. Go eat your food. That looks good.
There we go. Oh wait, you just got some wings. Ooh, that sounds good. Damn.
They living. I'm telling you, we gotta go next year.
Hey,
we
John,
gotta
you
go
have
next
just
year.
awarded yourself the ability to walk off now.
Yes.
Hey, is Canic there? Century Arms.
Yes.
Canic and Century Arms is here. There was a few that bowed out. Sig is not here.
What?
Who else? Sig.
So they ain't got nothing coming out for 2022 then.
No, they bowed out because of COVID.
Oh, they bowed out because of COVID. Okay.
Yeah,
So that means
they
that
bowed
means
out.
their superstars ain't come in. Didn't come in.
Yeah,
they bowed
there's
out
a
because
few
they got
others
that
that bowed
contract.
out, but I mean, either way, I'm still sitting at over 2,400 vendors that are here, and I've seen 2/3 of them right now. I've talked to probably I had my meeting set up. I've talked to probably about 30 vendors total, and maybe like about a dozen of them I'm setting up obviously direct purchase agreements with.
Hey, go give a shout out to USCCA. Tell Justin Peters and everybody up there we said hi. How about
he
that?
already did.
Oh, I already did.
John, I got to ask. You've been walking around there. How's our booth look for the viewers?
It's
Look pretty good.
Phenomenal. I was actually at the USCCA VIP event last night.
Did you see the amount of UFC fighters that were there?
I have pictures with them.
Wow.
So if you go to the USCCA post that
I
they
saw
put
that.
up about the event last night,
I saw that.
picture
Yeah.
of me and my wife with Chuck Liddell is there.
Yep.
Saw
that.
He's always
we
there.
met Randy Couture today. We met Randy Couture today. He was over at the Howitzer booth, and then I went and seen Jade Struck. So those who don't know, phenomenal competition shooter.
So Howitzer was actually there.
So yeah, they do have the spear coming out this year. It's just again they bowed out because of COVID.
Yeah.
But again, I'm gonna bow out, guys. I'm going to eat some great food.
Yes,
I
enjoy
will.
yourself.
If you don't follow us on Facebook, go ahead and follow us because I'm going to go live tomorrow on the floor. I haven't done that as of yet. I'm going to go live. I just have to be careful in certain areas where I can and cannot go live.
From your personal account or from your Guardian?
From Guardian's account.
Last but not least, real quick. Hey, John, who is the guest speaker or guest celeb at Glock this year?
Joe Biden.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know, and I haven't heard anything. Glock actually has a very small booth.
This year?
No way. Wow.
Yes.
They usually have the floor.
They got 2 stations up front with it's very small. Like I can walk around that thing in less than 10 seconds.
Damn.
And then they have like a sitting area. That's it.
And the reason I was asking because in 2020, that's why I got my Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I'm saying normally they have Chuck Norris. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have not heard of him being here as of yet.
Damn.
So it's been interesting. I mean, like I said, I know obviously some people bowed out, and for whatever their reasons are, I can respect their decisions.
Yeah, some of them definitely.
But I bowed out because of COVID.
We do need to come back next year as a group. As an Illinois group, we need to get out here.
All right.
I will say I did call Mike Brown earlier, actually, and this will be my final thing. I was at the Stag Arms booth, and someone decided to yell out my name, and they was like, John, and I'm like, breakneck, you know what I mean? Like, who is yelling my name? So I got to shake hands and meet Key Firearms face to face. So they are out here, and they were bummed that no one else from our group was out here representing. And so in the ideas of keeping everything lovely and professional, and again,
be nice, John.
It's all good. I mean, they were very nice and cordial. Again, on a professional aspect, we don't necessarily have issues with them. People do their business how they do their business.
Was they doing free shit out there too?
Oh,
I did not say that, so that is not the words of John and Guardian Concepts.
You try to get him jumped while he out there.
That'd be the words of Mike Brown. Shit.
I will say, I'm not worried about that.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about it. I know for a fact you're not. I got you.
None of us on this stage are.
But I am going to go eat now, guys. I will go live tomorrow, so make sure you jump on. Keep an eye out. Follow us. Follow our Facebook page, so that way you guys can see us when we go live.
All
All right, John.
Have a great evening.
Yep.
Peace out.
Be safe. All right. Hey, so let's get to some of these comments on here because y'all got some great comments. Ivan, did I say it right? Ivan Kahita. Wonderful question. Recommendations for a solid, reliable, compact firearm for a first-time buyer. Here we go. Bam. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna move your comment down so that we can see Dom's face. What do y'all think about this? Affordable, comfortable, usable, battle ready. Does that sound like something you would say?
Reliable.
High Point does not come up next. I'm gonna.
No, we are not mentioning High Point. Oh my God.
So yeah, reliable.
Yes.
Reliable. It's a build. So battle ready would be like the combat defensive accuracy. I give you that.
Exactly.
Compact would be comfortable. Magazine capacity.
Madcap. Yep.
Madcap is a good one.
Oh
If I had to put those four in order, comfortable and usable would come before affordable. Dollar amount does not matter if you don't win the fight. And if you cannot
1000%.
use that handgun effectively and appropriately, what's the point of even having it?
Oh, no.
Exactly.
When I say affordable, Dom, what I'm saying is you can always I don't want people to get a low price firearm and think that you got to, because you can always go to any gun store that has a layaway plan and do the put something on it plan.
Exactly.
Well, no, let's not even say low price, because low price might be okay if you buy a used one. So again, affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I hate to say it. There are some low price does not always mean cheap.
You're exactly correct.
Well, let's keep affordable. Comfortable. I like to add on to comfortable just to remind people, make sure it has no sharp corners and it doesn't snag on clothing.
Facts.
You know, add that to the comfortability when it comes to your sights.
So Taurus is off.
We already said reliable. Yeah. Reliable, compact. Yeah, we got that up there with comfortable and usable. Battle ready is a good one, but take battle ready to what extent? Are we talking about the fact that you can hit maybe 8 shots in an 8-inch circle, or you can break it down shotgun style to clean it real quick in case it jams up, or some water or dirt get into it?
So let's put some context with battle ready. What I mean by battle ready is, all right, so let's just say you go get a Glock 43, and I'm going to specifically name that one, right? Okay, Glock is the name that it has, but the 43, you only got 6 rounds. And so you go to the range and you practice with those 6 rounds. Like, you are good at getting those 6 rounds into whatever hole, big or small. You know, you are good in getting those 8 rounds in there on a static target. That ain't the battle, because then under stress, you're going to take that range confidence into the battle, not understanding terminal ballistics and understanding other contextual factors that could lead to the fact that, you know, if you fire that first shot and it hits, but it's not enough to stop that threat, then you're going to freak out. And you haven't practiced the freak out routine on the range, right? Now you're freaking out and you shooting and you just hoping that these shots are connecting, and these shots are not connecting. Yes, you shot 6 times, but you only hit maybe once or twice. And then the mags are so small, you don't have the mags anywhere near you because they're in the dresser drawer next to the new bras you just bought. Because I'm petty, right? So they
induce malfunctions. If you know how to properly manipulate this firearm, if you need to fix a malfunction.
Absolutely. And so for every malfunction you fix, now you're dropping rounds. Because if it's down on the ground, the shit is down. So now we talking about battle ready. You know, so we also talk about caliber, because here's another thing too. What's the popular caliber that's out there? 9mm. So if I got 2 people pop, shot them, maybe they down, and I got a Glock 43, nothing against Glock, but I'm just gonna go with that size because that's what's there, right? If I pop, how many rounds? 6 minus 2 is 4. If they got 9mm, where's the nearest gun store? I don't have any ammo near me. Yes, I do, because they on the ground. They got a 9mm 9 times out of 10 because it's a popular carry firearm. So I'm gonna go grab their ammo and I'm gonna top off because where's the nearest gas station? The gun range is closed. It's 3 a.m. You know, you get what I'm saying. Other outlandish stuff that people don't think about that, you know, because these events happen at some of the opportune and inopportune times, right? So you can get a smaller size, like Marquise kept saying. Compact, and I'm gonna land with this and yield to you all. You could get a compact firearm, but make sure it has the capacity for the battle you may find yourself in, because you're not getting that gun for your ego or for a higher degree of concealability. You're getting that gun to be able to address whatever little small mitigating threats that you have in front of you that you can handle. If it's like 7 of them, don't think about it. You better hope that Jesus or someone is on your side. But if you got maybe 2 and you got a 15-round mag and 2 extra mags, okay, that'll do, because we planning for a lot of stuff. I yield.
Yeah.
I'll add this real quick. You'll notice that not one of us said you need to go with a particular firearm in general. If I had to give you any advice, swing over to your local firearm store. It might cost you, $10, $15 to rent some, but grab like 4 or 5 off the shelf and take them all out on the range and go squeeze off maybe 10, 15 rounds with all of them. What you feel most comfortable with is the firearm that you should be using, the one that you can actually easily get around that, that malfunction, that feels good in your hands. I mean, you look at some of these smaller petite women with small hands walking around with full size, Glock 17s. Whereas maybe you've got big hands. Are you trying to carry, that Glock 43 where it doesn't sit in the palm of your hand the way it should? Are you going to be struggling? Are your rounds going to be going off, off center, things of that nature? Only you will be able to know if that firearm is right for you. And it's by practicing and by trying them out.
Yep. Do what one of the people from last week. One of the last people was Mike had talked about the SIG P365 last week. And literally, one of the people in the audience made a comment like, "I love that gun," and that's what I asked. I said, "Well, why do you love the gun? Did you shoot it?" Well, no. Okay, I have the gun. Come shoot with me, and you'll come see if you really like it or not. She did that today. She scheduled an appointment. She came to my ladies' class that I have on every Wednesday, and she shot the P365, the 48, the 43X, and the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Shield. Guess what became her favorite gun? The 2.0 Shield.
Yeah.
So again, you have to go out there and you got to put rounds to paper to figure out what's the better gun for you. Because honestly, a gun can feel like velvet in your hands, but if you can't shoot it, it makes no difference. But if a gun feels like this,
what is that velvet?
What is that velvet?
I want to piggyback off of what everybody's saying as well. Something that I always see inside of the range is that people tend to they always want to load the mag to full capacity. Listen, if you go to a range that offers you the ability to swap, take advantage of that swap and don't burn through all of your ammo. There's a reason why that box is in order the way it is. It's for you to try things. So if you look at it, you got 50 rounds, you got 5 rounds of 5. You got 5 rows of 5 rows.
5 rows of 10. Yes.
5 rows of 10 or 10 rows of 5. You got multiple firearms to try. So don't get stuck thinking, okay, well, this is the gun so and so told me to go try out. Just go to the front, shoot your 5 out of this one, or even shoot just one. No, I'm gonna say 5 because it'll be better for you. Shoot 5, go to the front, swap it out. Shoot another 5, go to the front, swap it out. Don't get stuck. Figure out which ones you like the most, then take those back and try them again. There's no reason for you to be sitting back there stuck with the same gun the entire time and then going, well, I think I love this gun. You really don't know yet.
And I'll add one more piece to that too. If you go to a gun range or a place to buy a firearm, and the first thing they tell you is a brand and a gun,
this is good for you.
Walk the hell away.
Yes.
I am 100% a brand whore, but here's the brand that I love. It's called Exactly. So
I love it.
so we all have our particular brands, but the thing is this: the guns that we fall in love with as instructors or as individuals who've been shooting for a while is from years of trial and error. We shot almost everything that people would have been like, yeah, that's the gun to have. I've shot the Glocks. For me, the Glocks didn't work well because of this meaty portion of my hand.
Yes.
You got the little fat hands, huh?
The Glock didn't work for me. It tore my hand apart, even with a freaking beaver tail.
Yeah.
It tore my hand apart.
Yes.
So my favorite gun for a long time, and again, if they kept making holsters for it, I would have never switched guns. It was the Walther P99 AS. That gun was effing phenomenal. They stopped making holsters for it because the PPQ and the other stuff they started making became more popular.
I love the PP
Now,
so far.
when that gun, excuse me, I'm emotional. When that gun, they stopped making holsters for that gun, I had to put that gun to the side and go for another company. I had to go shoot different guns again to figure out what was my new concealed carry. Now, my specific company that I like is a 2-letter company. And for me, they make the best guns because they're ergonomic, reliable, and honestly, I'm a hypocrite because my gun is all metal and I carry full size. Me, I think Key has witnessed it. No, I don't think Mike has witnessed it. No, you never seen me shoot a small gun.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when people see me shoot small guns, my hands literally come home scratched or bruised from me shooting a small gun. And people have witnessed it. And I'm like, dude, it's not me. Guns that are little don't like me. Yes.
I got a torture test. For you, Marquise.
Oh Lord, what you got?
That CSX, man. I need you to try it out. I had Mike shoot it. Now I gotta have you shoot it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you gotta try it. I'm sorry.
I forgot that video.
I don't know how I feel about it right now. I really need.
Is it small?
Oh my god, I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
Aluminum frame, hammer fired, but it don't feel hammer fired. But
that's the
new Smith. Yeah, the new Smith.
Single action, yes.
Yep.
It's
I want you to see it.
It's a single action.
I'll spot you the first 5. I'll spot you the first 5, dude. Seriously, I want you to see it.
I'm not feeling that because it means it has a safety.
It does have a safety.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. It's got a safety.
I forgot to drop that video. I got it too. I recorded it too. Yeah.
Marquise is out. It's got a safety. Marquise don't play with safeties.
Yeah, it did feel good to shoot. It did.
I believe you.
I don't like the single action. I don't like that safety. Right.
I believe you. I don't.
And for the field single action, especially for you, because I know how you feel about your single action, you're probably gonna hate that gun. But I want you to critique it.
You know what? I will shoot it because you asked me to, and I'll remove my personal feelings on thumb safeties just for you, and do a genuine review without my negative hatred for single action.
This is a fair trade. It's a fair trade because you know how I feel about small guns, so this is a fair trade.
Yeah. And it's a small gun.
Yes.
Yes. I'll show it. I'll show it. Y'all something else. I'll show it to you.
Are we still talking about?
So y'all hate small guns, huh?
Just me.
I always have.
Well, see, for me, figuring out the firearms that I like, my very first firearm that I purchased as far as pistol was the Smith & Wesson SV40.
SDVE40.
Oh,
yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, that is usually the first Negro gun.
And back then,
yes.
Back then, I thought that was like the awesome
first
gun.
Negro gun. Oh
and
my God.
Once I finally got my feet wet and actually put some more things in my hand, is like I can't tell you the last time I looked at it. It's in the safe right now.
That's it right there. Yeah, the CSX.
Wow. I know, and you know what, AKD. But that's the thing, though. I promise you, that is almost every Negro's first gun. It's the SDVE 9.
It's at least a 40. Yeah, it's at least a 40.
And you know
that 40.
Well, you
Well,
know that was remember the Sigma.
Uh-huh.
That's
Not
the
the Sigma, the predecessor.
Yes, the Sigma was horrible.
Chip, all of them was horrible because their triggers were like 15 pounds.
Yes.
Wasn't that a force carry for some law enforcement agency?
It was individual departments.
Okay.
And you know what the crazy part of? With mine, the front sight fell off in the middle of qualification.
Oh my God.
And I was forced to qualify just like that. I passed, but literally the front sight came off. And I'm just like, you know, it was one of them. I went to the like, hey, I got to redo this another day. He was like, no, you don't. What would you do in the streets? I'm like,
Exactly.
I got through it. And I actually
this happened to me 16 times.
Did you buy this thing in a Crown Royal bag?
No,
it's not the Crown Royal.
I actually got it from Midwest.
Yes. Do you
actually
see
got
this?
it from Midwest.
How do I know that?
And
Midwest Gun Range and Lions?
It is
that
a
thing
thing.
was horrible.
Midwest Gun Range and Lions, right?
Right there on First Avenue, First and
Yes.
Plainfield Road. Yes.
Yes.
I'm not giving them a shout out because I do not go to that place anymore. I would never buy another firearm out of there. But yeah, that's where I got it from.
Wow.
Yep.
You gotta come see me though one day, Katie.
But that's
You over in Midwest?
Hey,
no. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
But that's not even a gun though.
That's not it.
That's
that's new.
That's the new one.
Not new.
That's not new.
Yeah,
it's not new, but
no, it literally says SDVE.
No,
On the
I
side,
know.
yeah.
I was showing them the predecessor, the one that came before it. This is the Sigma.
Oh, that's the Sigma, right?
That's the Sigma. This is horrible.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know they made a trigger longer than the SDs, man.
Yes, this was horrible,
man. It's like you pulling a born arrow. You be like, pow,
yeah,
pow. It's like, whoa.
I do archery, sir. Let that go. I do.
How was y'all passing?
I do
how
too.
was y'all passing
I do
quals
too, but it was horrible. You say what?
How were y'all passing quals with a time with that gun? That's all.
I wouldn't shoot with that. I would shoot with Glock.
Not you, Katie.
Let me explain this. When that's what you have, I'm from the South, so I was always taught you shoot whatever you got. I never believed in like when I first came, like got into law enforcement. I failed qualifications with the rifle because my rifle was not sighted right, but I was shooting Kentucky windage, and I was told that I was wrong for shooting Kentucky windage. You know, I had the spotter behind me. He telling me it's a hit, but why are you aiming over here? So for me, whatever I pick up, I'm going to make it work. Like that's the mentality that I have. Right. I'm not that. I don't care if it's like one of a firearm that I can't stand. Like it's a great firearm, but I don't like it personally. It's the Beretta FX 92 FX.
Oh yeah.
FS? You mean
FS?
Yeah.
The 92 FS is a very accurate firearm, but the grip of it is like I'm holding a brick. I don't like it, but can I manipulate it? Yes. Can I get the job done? Yes. So it's one of those things like if I'm forced to do it, I'm gonna do it. So when I had that paperweight, that that archery firearm that he's showing, hey, that's what I had.
Not the archery one.
Well, it looks like I got a test for you.
That's the archery one.
Yeah, what I had, I had to run. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, hey, you're gonna slap the trigger. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna be a crisp break. You're gonna slap the trigger. It was a couple of old shit moments, but hey, it worked. It got the job done.
I can't believe he called
this my favorite firearm of all time. I need you to put up my favorite firearm of all time.
What's that?
High Point C9. Let's go.
Oh my God! Why would you do that?
Lord.
Okay, so someone asked a question about the 30 Super Carry.
Oh, I don't know enough about it yet. I just seen a post video on it earlier. I don't know enough about it yet.
Is that just a round or a gun?
I'm not sure. I thought it was a round, but I'm assuming it's a round and a gun.
It's a brand new round that they've just developed. And then I think there's maybe 2 gun companies that have already agreed to start manufacturing guns in that caliber, but I can't remember which 2 they are. But it's a new round. It's supposed to have less recoil than a 9mm, but similar ballistics, similar to a 9mm, but with less recoil. And it's a smaller round, therefore you can have more ammo capacity on board. That's the idea behind it.
So
I don't know how.
Because I'm looking at it now. Federal makes the round, and it just looks like it says it allows two more rounds than 9mm. So that's what I'm looking at. Like, well, wait a minute. So does that mean shoot it through a 9mm?
For every 10 rounds of 9, there's extra 2 rounds of 30.
Right. So for every 10 rounds, you can put in 12. So your 10-round magazine can now hold 12.
It's a whole different caliber.
Right.
It's supposed to have better ballistics than a 9.
Are the gun manufacturers on board with this? I mean, you can throw out a different caliber of a round all day long, but if the gun manufacturers aren't going to make a chamber for it, what's the point?
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 I read yesterday, or I read a couple days ago. There's at least 1, and I think 2 companies that are going to make guns in that caliber, but I don't remember who they were.
Smith and Wesson and Nighthawk Custom. Smith and Wesson and Nighthawk.
Nighthawk, why? Why Nighthawk? Why?
Because
this is the type of fight y'all sleep on this one.
That's what you got it. You got it.
Hey man, hey.
Oh man,
the boat show is coming up. Everybody looking for a good anchor.
Good anchor. Good door. Good door stop.
Man, that's a good anchor right there. That's a good
door stop.
river anchor. Man. I'm telling you.
Got any duck hunters out there? That's a great decoy anchor right there.
Immediate intimidation.
That's a great way.
That come out the holster. Immediate intimidation.
So,
go ahead.
So this is what I would say. Who was asking about the 30 Super Carry? Was that William? So this is what I would say, William, in my personal opinion. I like rounds that I can pick up from other guns if I'm in an oh shit scenario.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, when you get into the 30s and the 380s and stuff like that, I really don't play with rounds that I don't think is the most common thing a criminal might have on them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hate to say it. I'm an opportunist. If I shoot your ass and I can get a hold of your bullets.
Yes. I am the same way. Yes. That's battle ready.
Has anyone shot the FN57?
Of course.
Yeah.
And
don't like
y'all
it.
said it like y'all like it. Oh,
no,
no,
I don't like it.
No. Okay, let me phrase that.
Money.
It's an extremely accurate gun.
Dairy.
I think it's an amazing gun. Is it, in my opinion, feasible and practical?
No.
Nope.
No. Would you put it in the same category as the Desert Eagle?
Novelty.
I wouldn't put a Desert Eagle in the category. I wouldn't even own one.
No,
the category he's speaking.
I'm talking feasible and practical, because to me, a Desert Eagle is not feasible or practical.
Right.
A Desert Eagle is something that it's something that you engrave deep in gold and put on. Huh?
It depends on the caliber. Are we talking straight 50? Are we talking the 9? Are we talking the 44 mag?
Yeah.
The 50.
Talking about the baby Eagle.
The 50.
I ain't trying to kill no goddamn elephants. I live in Illinois. Shit, I don't live in the Serengeti.
Puff you up like an elephant.
Now, I've seen someone in Illinois pull out one of them.
Wait. Hold on. Back that up.
Illinois.
I see someone in Illinois.
I'm just curious. Okay. All right.
Crook County, state of Illinois. Yeah.
Got it.
I've seen someone pull out a Desert Eagle, and I started laughing. Like it wasn't a funny moment, but I started laughing because it's like he was digging and he was just like, whoa, okay.
Now I can quote a dude who's pretty quick on it with those but it's a YouTube guy. I'll say that much. Who,
T-Rex
has carried it, quote unquote. I'm not 100% sure, but I wouldn't myself. 5.7, 5.7, 50 AE. I put all those in that novelty, like category. That's something that if I was to buy it, it really be like a safe queen. I would use that like if I'm going to go like bring somebody to the range type, like okay, we're gonna go have a little bit of fun. That's it.
Now here's a comparison I just put up. The one that you see on the left towards us is the FN57 we've been talking about. The one you see on the right is okay, I see you, Dom. The one you see on the right is the Ruger 57. right? And I shot both of these.
Yep.
The
Ruger
Ruger
wins. The Ruger wins.
The Ruger does win.
Mhm.
The Ruger 5.7 feels so much better to shoot, and it feels ergonomically good to handle. But like Key said, wonderfully, they both fit as novelty. Why? When your car runs out of gas, where is the nearest gas station? When your gun runs out of ammo and you've shot whomever you had to shoot, or backtrack, when you acted to motivate them to modify their deadly behavior, when you run out of motivation, where you get motivation from.
Go.
I used to be in love with the FN57. I don't know why. It's aesthetically pleasing. That's it.
You was in love with it until you actually became a real gun person.
Yeah.
That's all facts. Because I was like 17 when I was in love with that gun. So
Right,
I
think
can
about
agree.
it. As kids, we watched Rambo. Shit, we was in love with the M60.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm still in love with the M60. I ain't gonna lie.
Whoa, hang on.
Said,
I humped an M60. I humped an M60 for years. What are you talking about?
Hey,
I did.
put that
Are you in love
comment back
with
up,
it?
Mike.
I'm still in love with the M60.
Put that comment back up.
Tanisha said, I know guns are tools and aren't intended to be pretty, but the hot point is too ugly. I can't.
Somebody banned her. She is banned.
No, she is not bad. Tanisha's awesome. She's been asking some very strategic questions.
Hey,
I love
give her
it.
give her
I
free
love it,
training.
yeah.
Give her free training because I agree totally with that comment.
She wants to make sure she looks good when defending herself.
Hey,
That's respectable. Hey,
she's out here asking some great questions, so she's serious about it. I love it.
Mhm.
Calvin Carbine asked, have y'all heard of the 8.6 Black?
Okay, so obviously that's a rifle round.
Yeah.
Is it not backwards?
So is that like supposed to be like the big brother to the 6.5 Creedmoor?
About to find out.
Let's look it
A
up.
big brother to the 300?
You say kill who do what?
Big brother to the 300.
It can't be.
300.
I mean, that's
it said black though. I don't know.
Right, but
hey, I don't know.
Not like 300 blackout, but no.
It is, yeah.
All right, I got a side
Supposed
by
to be like
side
a boat
picture
action?
of it. 8.6 Creedmoor to the 8.6 Black. It's a little short fatty. I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
So it's better
Short
suppressed.
fatty. That sounds.
You mean a 6.8?
No, it's an
I heard
8.6.
8.6 does not make logical sense.
No, I just looked it up.
Faxon Firearms 8.6 blackout.
Yo, he's right. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
It's a thing for sure.
Okay. Never heard of
it. It came out of Faxon.
Go ahead.
Yep, Faxon. It was introduced in SHOT Show. KD, what the hell are you close up on right now?
His hand.
I was covering the screen because my wife wanted to walk past.
We good. That didn't look appropriate
So at all. Immediate block of Facebook.
All right. So the one on the left is the 8.6 Creedmoor, and the one on the right is the 8.6 blackout. Why does that look like a 5.5? That looks like the 300 blackout.
Yeah, it does. That's what I was saying. It does look like that. But they're probably making that for suppression. That's probably what it's for. Is it still in a bolt carry fashion?
Oh no. The one, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it. Okay, so let me put up another picture because I see a different version of the blackout. Apparently, the 8.6 blackout is the one that's on the left. I don't know. What it looks to be something that's for a rifle suppressed.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Yeah,
6.5 is a little longer, right?
6.5 is a little longer.
Okay. Hey, check this out.
Got
the 8.6 blackout is a .338 caliber cartridge created with the same general concept as the 300 blackout, except for the bigger AR-10 pattern guns.
Isn't a 338? Don't you hit that with a Lapua?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lapua. Yeah.
That's an extreme long range rifle round.
Magnum, baby.
Yep.
Usually for snipers.
Yeah.
1,000 yards.
It's the little brother of the 50, they say.
1,000 yards and out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It has head dimensions and overall length identical to 308 Winchester, which in conjunction with the overall shape of the cartridge allows loading unmodified AR-10 magazines to their full capacity.
Okay. All right.
Now,
News to me. First I've heard of it.
do you see how we just did research? That's what instructors do. We actually do research and converse about these things. So take the hint, right?
Use the Google.
Yeah, that too. But always remain a student and always remain teachable.
Yeah. Because the whole thing for me, like I said about the rounds, if I can't find it in captivity, I really don't play with it. So
It's supposed to be
300 blackout is as far as I would go with a round that's not common, because I love that round.
300
But
I love it.
But that's the most.
Are you talking in lieu of a 5.56?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because my concealed carry backup pistol is a 300 blackout PDW.
Yeah.
That's my baby, and I saw it at SHOT Show in 2020 and had to buy it. So
Yeah.
I bought it when I came back to Chicago. That gun's amazing, and for me, 300 blackout is ultimately the way to go for me. I hate to be that person, and one day when Illinois pulls their head out their ass and we can have suppressors, it's going to be even better.
I mean, we can do that.
Hey, well, you might as well not even do have that conversation of thought, because it ain't gonna happen.
Yes, it will. That's the. We gotta stop that. We can do it.
We got to vote for the right governor.
Yep.
Oh, in the populous Cook County where it's heavily dim, I don't know, bro.
Man, listen here. You talk
We
about
can
Crook
make it.
County.
We can
You
make
talking
it
about- listen,
populous.
You talking about Crook County.
Hey,
whatever. You talking about the state of Chicago, city of Illinois.
Now there
Look, man, it's possible.
There has been calls to have Chicago branch off from the rest of the state and make it its own state.
They should.
They definitely should.
They should
secede from Illinois and make it its own state. So that way,
will we have 51 states now?
Yeah, because if you look at it, the rest of Illinois is a red state, and the only reason why it votes blue is because of Cook County.
Cook County, yep.
Rockford,
it's the same thing with this. It's the same thing with these little them cards. Yeah, them cards. They want you to show to get inside of their places now.
Got it.
Those cards, those.
Them cards, yeah.
Them cards, yeah.
DEM.
Them cards, yeah. Them cards, yeah.
Them cards, yeah.
Hey, seeing that you guys are on the line of politics, can I throw out a question there?
Oh,
sure.
House bill recently thrown out to the floor. I don't know who it came from, but it came up in another classroom. You guys hear anything about somebody proposing that Illinois becomes stand your ground?
Yes, that was announced last year. But the funny thing about Illinois becoming stand your ground, we're already no duty to retreat.
Yes.
Which means
yes, stand your ground. By default, it's stand your ground.
Well,
when do we?
Okay, so I would say this. We're a castle doctrine state, but at the same time, when it comes to being charged, and especially in Cook County with our state's attorney, you do have a duty to retreat. And the best way that I can put this is, if your house is in fire and you can get out of the house, get out.
You're comparing two things. You're saying castle doctrine and no duty to retreat. Two separate things.
I'm saying that if you have the opportunity to retreat, why wouldn't you?
Right. But remember, when we talk about the use of deadly force, if there is no reasonable means to retreat.
I get that.
And we're talking about immediate threat for no duty to retreat. So when we're talking about this stuff, we're not talking about like you're 45 feet away from me and I'm like, I have no duty to run from you. You're not talking about that.
The opportunity is not there. I get it. Yeah.
Correct. So that's the difference. Now, if you're 75 feet away from me and I'm claiming no duty to retreat.
Who draws the line there? I mean, it's written right into our statute that it has to be reasonable and necessary. But
I got to give y'all some.
Who determines what reasonable and necessary is? It's that jury of 12. And that jury of 12, juror number 1, what he finds reasonable and necessary might be different from juror number 12, which means you could be in the trick bag. I think a stand your ground law in the state of Illinois, especially in Cook County with the way we prosecute some of these crimes, I'm sorry, the way that they view some of these self-defense cases would be absolutely horrible. That's my personal opinion. It's going to get the honest concealed carry license holder jammed up in a lot of cases when they think that, hey, I don't have to leave this situation. I'm going to stand right here because this is my bubble. This is my territory. And they're going to resort to that firearm and then get themselves jammed up because Kim Fox, no disrespect, she's going to say, wait a second. You had the opportunity to turn around and walk away. Why did you stay here?
So this is what I would say to that, and then I'm going to yield to Mike because he's been trying to raise his church finger up the whole time.
No. Go ahead. You good.
I'm going to say this. I would base that on the individual and who they learned concealed carry from. Because I would say this. In my classes, I have preached multiple times. 90% of my class is how to avoid conflict.
Yes.
The last 10% is you did everything you had to do to avoid conflict. You crossed the street. You took 3 lefts instead of a right. You did everything you could, but now you have no opposite choice. So my thing is, if the ego plays a part of me not having to run away from you, that's the individual. So it doesn't matter what the law is, whether it be stand your ground or no duty to retreat. If the person's ego plays the I ain't got to go nowhere.
Marquise, that's exactly my point. Yeah. When you allow that opportunity for an ego to basically commingle with law, the law says that my ego can stand right here. Now you're getting people jammed up. And you're not getting them jammed up. You're getting them confused.
Depends on the instructor.
Y'all know I'm about to kill it, right?
No, break it down, Mike.
Let me throw it up.
Here we go.
I'm throwing it.
Illinois case law. Though Illinois does not have a stand your ground statute, the state Supreme Court has held there is no duty to retreat before using force in the public. And this is according to Hammond versus People and People versus McGraw. Illinois law authorizes the use of deadly force to prevent the commission of a forcible felony, which is defined to include burglary of unoccupied vehicles. Now that's the Illinois Supreme.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Good luck with that.
I know. Well, hold on now. I get it, right? But what we do not understand is that it is very unlikely that if you do not have an attorney that is versed in gun-specific issues, right? And they don't understand all the tenets of case law as it relates to that specific thing, and they are not ready and willing to do the research as a vociferous advocate on behalf of their client. It is not the judge who is going to do the research for your attorney to defend your client. So that attorney would not put issues on the record so that if a state's attorney's office, such as the Cook County State's Attorney, just so happens to know this but doesn't introduce it because it's not their job, and the client is convicted, then the issue is not preserved on the record for appeal, so that when an appeal is filed, there is nothing for the appellate justices or the justices of the state Supreme Courts and the appellate federal court and United States Supreme Court justices. There's nothing to look at because the trial record was not preserved. Yep. And thus, like Marquis said, it depends on who you go to for your instructor who has the knowledge commensurate with these chess moves that can explain these things. Dominic, you are right. Good luck with that. But we've asked this question, and I got to go to someone else who asked this question, right? If it is likely for you to get convicted in the courts, how likely is your appellate chances to seek and gain justice? And would these companies that protect us, any number of concealed carry insurance companies, would they stand by us, and do they even know this?
Hey, Mike, it goes back to the question that we had. I don't know what's the guy name at the bottom. I can't see that far. I don't know.
Dominic.
Dominic.
You need a red dot on your screen.
Yeah. Hey, Dominic.
Or a magnifier.
When you said who is it that determines this? If you look at the Illinois law where it says that your firearm has to be broken down in a non-functioning state. What is a non-functioning state?
Yes, great question, Katie. Thank you. I could not remember that.
Are you referring to?
Yeah, Mike, cancer? I know. Huh?
Are you referring to like FOID transfer?
That was perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
For FOID.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Who determines what that is? Who defines what a non-functioning state is? There's so many. I would like to think that, and Mike, we've sat down, we talk law so much that law can be viewed as black and white, but there are so many gray areas to it. What you might determine or read the law as, Marquise might determine it. No, that's not how I read it. I read it some other way. But back to the question that I posed, we can go scenario by scenario and rabbit hole and rabbit after rabbit hole and move the goalposts around for all these types of situations. There will be that one situation that comes up that wasn't presented in Marquise's class, in Instructor Brown's class, in Jacob's class, things of that nature, where it's like, wait a second, I don't think we covered this. And now I got to resort back to the training that I did get to hopefully make sure that I made the right decision. And that's where that importance of, having, that legal preparation in the event that you are involved in one of these cases does come into play. But I'm talking about specifically that self-defense incident when the law starts to commingle with emotion or commingle with mindset over basically knowledge. That's where we're going to have a problem if this did go through.
Right.
Well, if
and
you look
honestly,
at a lot of Illinois statutes and laws, it seems like it's always a gray area in that. The officer CPDs are trained to how to trifecta. Geeks like ourselves sit around and we break down a trifecta and read it. It doesn't say. Also, it says one of. Either or, and it is one of those things. Whereas I don't think in Illinois, we will actually have someone to break down those laws to the simplest terms so that when we do present it to a student or someone that believes that their instructor, what their instructor says goal is law. I don't think that we're at that point where, so I try to give my students the most simplest bareback preschool answer to a lot of things. And like Marquise said, and like Mike said all the time, you win 99% of the interactions you do not engage in, of the conflicts you do not engage in. So it's one of those cases whereas we have to dumbify a lot of things because of the way in which the law is written, and it's written with those loopholes for specific reasons. We just don't know what those are yet.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
Keep in mind, fellas, that we have some pretty good use of force laws here in Illinois. They were written back in the 70s. They're not called stand your ground or castle doctrine.
Yeah.
I believe Florida was the first one to codify something as a stand your ground or castle doctrine, but our laws predate those by a good 20 years. Just because it's not called stand your ground doesn't mean it's not stand your ground. There is no duty to retreat. Therefore, by default, it's stand your ground. That's the way I see it. And I read the law. I've read the law 1,000 times. I have copies of it. I give every student a copy of the actual use of force laws. Use of force in defense of person, use of force in defense of dwelling, and use of force in defense of property other than a dwelling. And I read that to them paragraph by paragraph, and we break it down. And not one time have I ever seen anywhere in that law say anything about, well, if somebody's breaking in your front door, first you got to try to run out your back door. I've never, ever seen any of that. So I tell them, we don't call it stand your ground, but by default, it's stand your ground. It doesn't say if somebody's jumping me and attacking me, I first got to try to run away. It says you are authorized to use force if blah, blah, blah. However, a person is authorized to use deadly force if blah, blah, blah. That's it. It's in black and white. And that's the way I see it. And I've been doing this a long time.
I 100% agree with you. The way it's written, the ors, the ifs, the buts, the howevers, that's what gets people jammed up.
And if we can get a new law, passed that clarifies that, then that's great. That would be great. That's a good thing.
The problem with clarifying laws is it's subject to interpretation. And I've been having this conversation with my son because I'm doing my journals with him and trying to get him to understand things. Words have power based upon definition, context, and use. And when we look at interpretation, you've got three words: perceiving, understanding, and contexting. Context. Perception fuels assumption, right? Because it's the perception, it's the senses. I sense it's something, so therefore it must be. Look at how many people operate off of the id, id, ego, super ego, that impulse to believe something, it's unrealistic, or they're idealistic and they never really had any experience, but we're the collection of what we see. A person's perception is their reality. And so if you look at, there was a book called Homicide: Life on the Streets, from a veteran Baltimore homicide detective. Trying to get one person to understand the truth is a task. Trying to get 12 of them is a fucking miracle. So you see how that is. So if we're talking about perception and then understanding, which has the root word of perception in it, and then you get context. Just looking at the definition of context means to do what we are doing here, to do the deeper research, to understand the issues of what's non-functioning, right? It's questions such as this: if a firearm, a semi-automatic firearm, right, has a loaded magazine and it is in the well, but there is no round in the chamber, is that semi-automatic firearm functioning?
If that's a question, no.
Oh, I didn't know that was a question.
No, I'm sorry. I know, because my questions come off as rhetorical statements.
I would say this is based on a perception of the officer who pulls your ass over and finds that gun.
But if we brought a subject matter expert on both sides, prosecution and defense, could they say scientifically, because we're talking about can or can't, can that gun fire functioning, right? With the magazine loaded in the well, but no round in the chamber. Could it function?
No.
They would say it. They would say that it would. You got a side that would say it would. You got a side that say it wouldn't.
Well, hold on. We're talking about science.
But when you talk about science, it's either yes or no. Because
yes.
Scientifically.
If any one of us sits on the screen, put a mag in the well with no round in it, you squeeze the trigger, you press the trigger, it's gonna go click, not boom.
Unless you're Baldwin.
But does that mean it's not?
Good job, Dominic. Good job. So let me give you another one.
So that breaks down to the same thing. If I have the mag in the well and I have the slide lock back, is it functioning?
What?
No.
Okay, wait, because if the question is functioning,
all of the ingredients are there to operate that firearm. Yeah. Everything is there. The firearm is there. The magazine is there. The ammo is there. Everything is there to operate that firearm. There are no missing.
Jacob saying is spot on.
There are no missing pieces to that puzzle.
Yeah,
but that's just because you have
a missing pieces to it. Because if you think about the firearm as a car, your car, in order for your vehicle to run, you got to have.
You got to go through the strokes, right?
Ignition electrical source. You have to have gas, and you got to have wheels, right? For it to run, for it to go. So if I have gas, and I got a battery in it, and I got wheels, but my battery is not hooked up, is my car functioning? All of the pieces are there, but it's not all intertwined together in order to make that option that make that vehicle move.
I think
Yes,
the
sir.
definition of the word matters.
Marquise,
Somebody can-
I'm gonna give it to Marquise because he is actually doing what we have all been taught to do. Recognize a hand. Marquise, go.
So I'm loving the conversation,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna hit you with a word. Context.
There
Yes.
we go again. It's always
What's the context? What's the context that this gun is functioning or not? Did I get pulled over by a cop? Did a cop just grab my gun? Am I pointing a gun at a cop? What are we talking
Okay.
about? Am I pointing a gun at
Context-
somebody?
Context is, I leave the range. I have a FOID card.
Good job. Thank you.
I leave the range with a FOID card.
Thank you.
After I left the range, I had my magazine and my firearm loaded, and I had my firearm. I had it's out of the wheel, and I put my firearm in my bag on my front seat.
You're
Now-
missing an element.
You're going to jail because
You don't
why?
have-
They're going to say that's a
Hold on,
functioning
hold on,
firearm.
Hold
It's
on.
functioning.
Hold
You're
on.
missing an element. You don't have a round in the chamber.
Right. I don't have a round in the chamber, but I have the
Okay.
magazine in the wheel.
Mhm.
According to the law, it states that it must be either one of the following: one, broken down in a non-functioning state; two, not readily accessible;
Accessible. Yeah.
and three is what is
Or
it?
three.
Or three.
Unloaded
is-
in a case.
Mag and firearm are separated. Yeah.
No,
Right.
no.
No, it's a
Unloaded
case.
in a case.
Unloaded in a case.
Okay.
So if you look at those oars, is it immediately accessible? On my front seat, yes, it's immediately accessible. If you look at the next oar, is it broken down in the case?
No.
Define broken down.
Define broken
Oh,
down.
God.
There we go.
That's
It's
why I
in a
wanted to go back
case.
to functional.
It's in a case, and
Oh.
then it says, is it in a non-functioning state?
But Jacob, here's the
But
thing.
wait. Time out. All you described was your gun in the front seat. Who cares? It's your gun in the front seat. What's
That's
my
an immediate
context?
reach. That's an
What's my
immediate reach.
context? Are you
With the
being
Ford-
pulled over?
I can't hear
Are
you.
you
Hold
being
on,
pulled
hold on.
over by a cop right now, and they're gonna ask you the question, do you have any weapons in the car? You're gonna say,
Yes.
and then if they don't ask any more questions, who cares? Correct?
But hold on. Is the standard that we are defining this by a police officer who in the state of Illinois only has to get a 66% at a minimum to pass the state law enforcement exam? Or are
That
we,
is true.
because here we go, you could do everything right and get falsely arrested. So we cannot judge this by a person who is given allowances because of perceived or actual stupidity.
This is my life.
So-
This is my, and see, Marquise, this is something that actually have happened to someone that we know
Yes.
that's left the range, had the magazine inside of the firearm, had the firearm in a fanny pack in the back. So with the FOID card,
I don't know
So-
what that means.
what's
I don't know
what you
in
mean?
the back. What does in the back mean?
It was not in the front of the car. It was in the back of the car, the back seat.
So not
or-
necessarily immediately accessible. Yeah.
right.
Backseat.
Wait, we don't know that. The back seat can be immediately accessible if you drive a sedan. If you drive a two-door car, it can be immediately accessible. So again, in the back means nothing to me if I don't know. Are we talking an
Okay.
SUV and it's in behind the third row?
No, it's in the second row in a four-door vehicle.
Then that's easily accessible.
Okay.
The only way is in your back seat, not easily accessible, is if that case is right behind you.
Let's take
Because
a pause.
unless you're Gumby, there's no way in hell you're gonna reach behind you and grab that damn case.
Let's take a
If
pause.
that case
Let's
is
take a
to the
pause
right-
and let's take a pause and give Dominic the out because he's got to go take care of his wonderful kids, and then we're gonna continue.
I got a big.
Okay.
From my 14-year career being a police officer, it was always this: broken down, locked in a case, ammunition separate. And I know you guys are all saying or. I will tell you straightforward, whether I misread the laws or not, the state's attorney did approve those charges if just one or all of those elements were in place.
And I got to tell you, People versus Diggins is the case that came out of Chicago where
Yes,
they
sir.
locked them up on that same thing because
Yeah.
the argument was whether or not the center. No, it wasn't People versus Diggins. It was other case law, but it was somewhere in Illinois. where they argued the whole argument. You got to go of center console and whether or not it was a locked container. And the state Supreme Court reversed and remanded it back, saying the center console is a locked container. So I'm telling you,
if it locks.
If it locks.
That's not what it said, though.
Well, hold on, lock with a key or lock, and we know
Because
center console
lock with a latch.
Lock with a latch. That was the argument, and lock with a latch. And the state Supreme Court said, yes, that is considered a container.
All right, let me go see if I can take care of this. If not, I'll be back next time, and I'm loving having
okay. You're good. You got the link. If you're good,
I got a 9-month-old upstairs bawling her eyes out right now. So let me get back to you guys. Hopefully, you'll still be here.
I got lucky. Mine is asleep.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much, Mike. Don't forget to mention that concealed carry guide to all of your viewers.
Got it.
Later, guys.
Be safe.
See you, Dominic.
Hey, Marquise, this is something that me and Mike talked about for about 3 hours on my way home from Michigan. This last week. So when I'm on the road, I talk to Mike most of the time. But this is something that we as instructors, newer instructor, when we first started, we misread that because we always was taught to teach the trifecta.
And.
Yes. Well,
if you actually,
I'm not gonna say that as new instructors.
Hold on. Even as cops too.
Cops,
because the state's attorneys would do that.
But if you read the law, it says or.
Yes.
And when you enter, and when you have a or in there, it does not have to have all three. It's one or the other, or the other, or the other. And so what we're trying to say, what me and Mike was talking about was, those students that's on here, or whoever's watching this, that is planning on carrying a firearm, conceal and carry, you have to break down these laws and statutes for yourself. Because when you go to court and your attorney sit up there and says, I'm here to represent, and look at your name, you need to know what you need to whisper in his ear to get you off that hook. Because for them, it's a slam dunk. I got paid. Hey, whatever. I get you probation. I don't want probation because that's not what the law states.
Right? Exactly.
That's not what the law states. The law states or. So it says, in order to consider we was in a fight, I have to either slap you or stab you or shoot you. And he said I got to do all three of them. It says or. So
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But now let's take into account. No, a lot of us, if they did this right when they first started teaching this stuff, should have taught a class with no one in the classroom. And they would have recognized,
No, you're good.
Everybody gone.
I'm trying something. I just gave you solo layout because you were talking and producing it.
I thought maybe y'all got disconnected.
No,
so a lot of us, there he is. But when we talk about this stuff, I know that all three of them say or.
Yeah.
And I've always known all three of them said or. What I've always told my students is the two ands based on one factor. Let's not do anything that makes a cop have to question or even have to even go through all this shit on trying to explain why you're wrong. Because what I tell people, look at 42 USC 1983. You know, if your constitutional rights are violated by a person as a state authority, you are due monetary damages. Yep. Guess what? I'm not arguing with any cop in uniform on the street. I'm gonna take my ass to court if necessary. But on top of that, let's reduce the amount of time that might have a cop have to say some shit to me. So I tell my students, but to be safe, make sure your firearm is unloaded in the case out of reach. Yes. Because I'd rather you not have to pull any fucking documents explaining why the cop is wrong. Because what cop at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, depending on what time your ass leaves the range, wants to hear your ass speak philosophy about laws?
No,
when everybody's trying to get off shit.
But see, you don't speak philosophy on the streets because in the academy they taught the officer in uniform is in charge. Right. So with that being said, if they told me that, I know if I'm in civilian clothes, he in charge. So it's just one of those. It's just one of those situations and issues that by you knowing that knowledge, even if you do get jammed up, and if you go back and you look at pull up Crook County UUW cases, how many cases of UUWs there are, and how many people have got jammed up on this specific topic.
Because they didn't know no better.
There you go, and that's what we.
But think about it, KD. Whose fault is it that the person didn't know any damn better?
That goes twofold. That goes twofold because the reason why I say it goes twofold is
because you're an adult. You
are an adult, first of all, for one. Yes,
ignorance of the law does not make you what from the law?
You're right. Right. But what I'm saying is, again, go ahead, Mike.
Marquise. Okay. Yes. Right. Ignorance of the law does not compute to an excuse. But if that's the case, explain this. 625 ILCS 5, which is the Illinois Vehicle Code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we expect motorists to have read the entire, largest, arguably, body of law that gives police more probable cause to stop a person than anything else? No. So what has the Secretary of State created? The rule book called the Illinois Rules of the Road. Right. Why? Because with the risk that comes with operating a motor vehicle, while ignorance of the law is in fact no excuse, we cannot be complicit in telling them that they can drive without providing them the minimalist guidance to help the adult pick up that book and understand and make that a condition before you get your license. And so here's what I argue, and I'm going to land with this. I find it funny that there is selective education on what we will educate them on so they can't claim ignorance and what we won't educate them on so we can punish them on that ignorance.
And right. Marquise, and I'll piggyback on that before you start, Marquise. One thing about that, you say ignorance of the law does not excuse you from it, right? So why can't that apply to the officer? Because they should have learned that law also. If you can use that same law and say "and" to convict me, you should have read that same law and seen it said "or" and knew that you was doing wrong.
Right. And guess what? I'm not saying that they're exempt either, but what did I say? If they don't know on the street,
right?
Guess what Marquise is not going to do?
Argue it.
Marquise ain't going to argue
on the street. You argue in the court of law. You're right.
I'm saying the court of law and bust their ass out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But the thing is this, because the other thing you mentioned was, you got to tell your attorney. First of all, if I got to tell my attorney shit about gun laws, I got the wrong
probably over it for you. Yeah, it's probably over there for you.
Hey, dog, listen. I'm gonna let you know right now.
He went to that university. He went to university for free.
But you know what, Marquise? It's a lot, and I hate to say this, it's a lot of attorneys that are specialized in certain areas that we as individuals going through those situations, those cases, we take the case more what's the word? We're more sentimental to that case than they are.
Right.
Mike, when me and Mike was talking about his case, even though that attorney that he was dealing with knew the law, Mike passion for that case made Mike go out and dig deeper to get him off of that, because that's my life he's talking about. Yes. That's my life I'm talking about. Yes. So right now I'm in litigations right now. I have done more legwork than the paralegal. I have done more legwork than my attorney. Do I fault my attorney? Yes and no.
Yeah,
but guess what? It's my life that I'm dealing with.
How did you pick your attorney?
I said, what?
Oh, I'll tell you how I picked my attorney.
My attorney that I picked was actually a partner of the attorney that I have used in the past that has done these things, that has shown me what it takes to get past this case. So this was his partner. So once I see him not missing over certain things, see, when you look at a case, well, my case is probably a little different, but when you look at a case, I was there, he wasn't. So it's certain things that I may know, and if I'm semi-versed in the law, then I can pull out those things that he don't know because he wasn't there, and I can explain it to him for him to argue that factor. That's what I'm saying.
Call it.
Right. So it's one of those things whereas if you don't know, if you've been watching YouTube with these people, First Amendment auditors, and all these people that's go walk down the streets with ARs dragging the ground. If you got your your legal representation from the local pub because you thought it was a bar exam, then guess what? That's on you. But I'm gonna tell you right here, I appreciate sitting around with Mike, Jacob, Marquise, and Key, whereas they can put their 2 cents in, and those things, I'm gonna tell you now, I just screenshotted some things, I done wrote down some things, I done told Mike, hey, text that to me. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read it for myself. Why? Because I want to know what it says. I'm not gonna argue with the cop on the streets, but I want to know what it says. So if he wants to pull X, I know I see you in court, buddy. I'm not going to argue with it. I see you in court. I'm going to have my day in court. And when I have my day in court, just know he going to get some lessons, and they going to get some lessons, and they going to get some lessons. Because I'm not going to just go down when I know what the law states. That's what that's why we brought it up, because Mike and myself was sitting there and we was going over certain things. It's like, yeah, ignorance of the law. We're responsible to know the laws in the areas that we carry in, but we never looked at the fact that the cops should know the laws too. So how can you know a law to jam you, but you don't know what the law actually states? So it's ignorance on both sides of the fence. It may be selective ignorance on one side, it's just basic ignorance on the other, but it's ignorance on both sides of the fence.
Well, I just don't deal with cops, yo.
Yeah, and the thing is, one of the things that's why I'm a strong advocate for discipline backed and discipline as a last resort. But I'm a strong advocate for last resort, discipline backed, mandated quarterly training, because especially when it comes down to knowledge of the laws. Now, use of force, we can argue that, but especially when it comes down to knowledge of the law. This is why departments have to have those type of trainers that find all kinds of wonderful ways to give little small quizzes, even if it's on a daily or an every other day basis, because there is a lot of information that's out there that gets lost in the sauce once you leave the academy, and get exposed to the real world. And then all of a sudden the expectation of society is that you've remembered all this stuff. And then you don't remember this stuff because you had a traumatic situation, and then it wipes out your memory on a particular thing, or you get into, let's just say, your traffic 1 minute, then you get promoted to detective, and now you're staying on the job like 15 years in your homicide, so you don't know a damn thing about 625 anymore, because the only stop you pull is, your typical speeder or typical seatbelt, but you don't know anything about other things relative to traffic case. So I'm just saying.
Why does that sound like the Derek Chauvin case?
Hell, you get it.
Shots fired.
You get it. I'm just
I ain't been on the beat in 15 years, but what's the point?
Boy, I said you ain't been on the force since the OJ chase. Look.
Like, that's the point, sir. The last thing you remember was Rodney King getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, Yeah, back in the day, we used to use the Billy Club. We have not used that term in a long time, homie. I'm just saying.
I'm about to say, technically, the beater.
Right.
Hey.
Or the slapstick. You know what I'm saying? We haven't used, I get my fisty. First of all, stop it. I'm just saying, I'm no digs on, you got Jacob, who's been in the service and been in law enforcement for a long time, and him as a trainer is more up to speed, and that's what makes him more up to speed, because he is a trainer, aside from other things relative to Jacob's experience and credentials. But you'll get some old school cops that are stuck in nostalgia instead of catching up to the current times, and then they're teaching. That's funny when I see them teach these concealed carry courses based on their years of experience. When you get somebody to pressure test them, you find out there's a lot of holes in there. I've been cheating. Well, what have you been doing? You went to the, I don't want to say FBI National Academy, because that's a prestigious academy, but you just spent so much time in command to the point where you're great with politicking, you're great with policy, you're great with dodging political landmines, but you don't know shit about the field, because it's been a minute since you've been out there. So it's hard for you to relate to your departmental trainer who's been telling you, sir, we need this, sir, we need that. And all you see is and I could lose my job tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I still know instructors.
When last time you was a sous chef?
What's that, Jacob?
I was going to say, I know instructors who are also retired law enforcement, but they haven't kept up with the times, and they're still shooting like Weaver stance, and they're still shooting Full Metal Jacket because they have failed to keep up with the times. You know, we don't work on cars nowadays like we worked on. You can't work on a 1968 Camaro like you work on a modern Camaro. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you can't expect the things you learned. Like my dad, I hate to say it, but, you know, Vietnam vet, and hey, 45 ball ammo, good enough for then, and it's good enough for now. And it's like, yeah, but there's a better way. You know, you got to learn. There's a better way. I'm not saying it won't be effective, but there's better things than an old beat up leather holster carrying a 1911 with 45 ball ammo, shooting a fucking Weaver stance.
Oh, that's
that
bullshit.
Might work.
Pancake boy.
It might work, but there's a better way. That's all I'm trying to say. And if they fail to keep up, I qualify with a 1911. You know, the first firearm I qualify
use this Apple iPhone.
Exactly. Yeah. Here's me talking. I don't have a computer. I don't have a computer at home. I got to sit in the truck on my cell phone to do this show because I don't have all that high tech fancy stuff.
You're not the only one on your phone, man. Trust me.
But you know,
you're not the only one on your phone.
I know there's a better way. I just don't know how to do the better way with all this high tech stuff. But I can do the better way when it comes to self defense and firearms. I've done SAPs. I was a baton instructor back in the day, P38s, all that kind of shit. And yeah, the revolvers. Oh my God. Yeah, there's a better way. You know, I'm just saying. And you're absolutely right. Yes.
Wait, what shooting happened in University of Chicago?
There was a man that apparently, so University of Chicago police were responding to and we're going to land with this. We've been doing great. This has been a wonderful conversation. University of Chicago police, those of you all who don't know, I believe that's in the 2nd district. Yeah, 2nd district, Chicago area. In the area of the 50, I think the boundaries are 5100 to 63rd Street, and then from Cottage, I want to say all the way to Stony. Yeah, that's about the boundaries of University of Chicago. And there was a man with a gun who was waving the gun around. University of Chicago police responded because that is their jurisdiction, and of course they're there to get there first. They are bona fide police officers according to the Illinois Universities Act, and they responded. And the man pointed the gun at the University of Chicago police officer, and he instinctively fired shot. The man is in critical condition at the University of Chicago Hospital Trauma Center. And yeah, from all reports, it appears to be a justified shooting. I will say this.
You mean they didn't need to retreat? Oh, gee. They didn't have to retreat? Huh. Funny how that works. Huh?
Run, bitch, run!
But hold on. Here we go. University of Chicago police is a very... First of all, Hyde Park is a nice neighborhood, but it has its issues.
Very nice. Yeah.
It does have its issues, primarily with teens and young adults. Like
1000%.
Yeah, teens. And I can speak in this position, having firsthand subject matter knowledge. I used to be the account manager of the security forces that stand outside. So I know this firsthand. And October 31st is a freaking riot on 51st Street. Them kids just, man, it's them kids, you know, for it to be Obama town in essence, because Obama is, you know, from that area, General University of Chicago, went to law school.
He ain't from there.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just saying
the lead up.
I'm just saying that's what's said. And the Obama Foundation is over there on that the 51st Street and right by I forgot Harper, somewhere in that area. But long and short of it, it's a very it's a very diverse area, but the kids just run like they could just do stupid shit over there. And yeah. So University of Chicago police plays things very political. They don't pull you over unless they absolutely have to.
That's the way. Yep.
They used to have a TAC team. And I know that because I used to work when Grove Park was up. I used to work for the security company when they had that low-income housing over there. So we used to see University of Chicago police, and they had a bona fide TAC team. They have disbanded their TAC team. So they don't even have a TAC team now, but they do always have roving patrols. You want to talk about a heavily policed area? That's the University of Chicago, because crime goes on there. A lot of robberies. You've had some assaults, things like that, stuff like that. So it's heavily policed. But for UC police to shoot you, you had to fuck up. Like I would probably say that officer, it was more impulsive for that officer to shoot whomever that was, because UC police, they get the tip-top training. Like, they're always training. They're always, in classes. If you get in command staff over there, I got somebody I used to work with at one of my other police departments. He's a high-ranking command over there in UC police. I didn't even know it till I got hired over there. Yeah, for you to make that, it's played.
You earned it. Yep.
You earned it. Yeah, for sure.
You earned it.
You earned them shots for real.
Yeah,
hey, but you know what, Mike? That comes also a couple of months ago. The I want to get it correct. I think it was the student body of the Korean or either the Chinese nationalist American students.
Yeah,
they had one of their own had got killed over there.
Yeah,
and it was on the news, and they was talking about Uncle Lori was saying that they wanted to put more patrol over there.
Gonna get blocked.
And hey, I got an uncle named Lori, and they were saying that
you gonna get us all mad.
They're going to put more patrol over there, and the student was basically saying like the university area is one of the heaviest patrol areas in Chicagoland. They're patrolled by CPD and the university police. So I think they have stepped up. Now, last time I went over there, they actually have stepped up with their patrols a whole lot more. Also, ever since that student was killed over there.
Beetlejuice.
Hey, I like this dude here, Raymond. You know what it is.
Raymond is cool.
Hey, he know what it is.
Oh my God. Oh
hey.
my God.
Hey, you know what though?
Ace of spade is spade. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing we need to recognize is that Martin Luther King Jr.'s death didn't have the impact that
oh Lord,
what's that dude's name? What's his name?
Floyd.
George Floyd's head over the world.
That's according to the president said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he say?
President said that.
What did he say?
That Martin Luther King's death didn't have the global impact that George Floyd's death did.
Bruh,
LIG it. I'm just stating facts.
That's why they say Brandon.
I'm just saying facts.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's
go, Brandon.
Let's definitely go. Let's GTFO, Brandon.
I mean, he said it himself. So
before we get off, I just posted on my Facebook page in Florida. I think it's the senator. One of the senators down in Florida has passed a bill that it will be illegal to make white people feel uncomfortable.
Oh yes.
Go on my Facebook.
In what way?
Well, hold on.
We're talking wedgies.
Listen.
That's an assault, my G.
According to this bill, in teaching in school and training of employees, go on.
We cannot make him feel uncomfortable.
Do I look uncomfortable? Right fucking now? Jesus Christ! What's wrong with
Go on my Facebook page.
No, but
I actually listened to this, and I was blown back. I was literally blown back.
Y'all got to understand where it's coming from, though.
3-1. Do I look uncomfortable right fucking now?
Well,
I don't think so.
Technically 4, but you can't see me right now because you know.
No, that's how dark you are.
Hey, smile.
That's how dark you are. I can't even see you.
I can't get my picture back up. It ain't my fault.
I thought you were signed out. I thought you were signed out, bro. Sorry about that. 4-1. 4-1. Now I do feel uncomfortable. 4-1. Now that's it.
But when you talk about issues at hand, there's and this guy told you the guy that reported it. There's a lot more issues at hand than to worry about not making them feel uncomfortable because of their race and what their people, the people of, huh?
Are you, Curtis? Do you know about a lot of what's been getting pushed, especially to like the kids in school, especially if you go to a diverse school and you know, like just the little programs now that are being pushed. Okay,
yes,
I was just making sure you know.
Look here.
I got about the whole CRT thing and everything. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that.
I got a 15-year-old and I got a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I got technically I'm my god sibling. So yeah.
Unfortunately, the school that my 9-year-old goes to and the 15-year-old, they know me very well already because
that's good.
My 15-year-old went to the same school that my 9-year-old goes to, and it's certain things that I am not going to allow. Being a man and running my household and raising my kids, I'm not going to allow certain things to be taught to them, shown to them, brainwashed, seeds planted, or anything else. The question Mike asked me earlier today, would I let my child read that book? I don't even plant those type of seeds around my kids. The seeds that I plant are the seeds that I'm going to see grow. If y'all going to teach them the regular reading, writing, arithmetic, little social studies, but they're going to teach them their history, but I'm going to teach them his story when they get through. That's the type of household I run. So I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Just saying though, Martin Luther King's death didn't have the impact of the same as George Floyd's. That's all I'm saying.
He sound like he reading a hostage note.
I think people be setting him up for like, let's put this in here and see if he'll say it.
Yeah,
will they accept this? Let's see if they'll accept it. That's what it is.
If you listen carefully to after he makes a statement, if I'm not mistaken, you can hear Kamala Harris in the background go, mm-hmm. Someone what he says. I was like, oh God, no. You know what? I'm like, if you motherfuckers don't start letting him read from the cue card, you better let him read. Don't let him go off. Don't let him go off the chart no more.
Right.
You know why she You know why she
Right.
She trying to get that spot. She need that spot.
You better put like a little shock bracelet on his arm when he starts to deviate.
Hey, you trying to kill his ass already? Shit, he already half-ass dead. Hey, he already half-ass dead. Shit.
Should I say his arm?
I'm trying not to get blocked. Shut up.
We didn't say who. We just said he.
We working on it.
You just said he.
I said he. And
they're not stupid.
Mike
they are watching. All right.
Mike just got out of Facebook jail.
I just got out of jail. I'm not trying to go back.
This on the book?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? We'll stop talking about that. But yes. I will laugh and say this. It is amazing how in 1 year, everyone was F, Tango, Romeo, uniform,
Mike Papa. Yeah.
But the minute you say Foxtrot, Juliet, Bravo, there's a problem.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
You get labeled as a racist for it.
Wait,
I don't know how
don't say that word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just playing.
What is that word? I don't know that word.
I'm just playing with you. You're good.
You get labeled as a really bad person in society for saying that.
Right. A really bad person who labels someone on the basis of the pigmentation of the opposite of the Crayola box. Jesus.
So someone went in on Key's chin already. So I was gonna say everybody rub your beard before we go off, but
you can't see it. Good luck. Yeah. Can't make the joke. They don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know.
Yeah. Put up William's comment. William knows.
He said they don't know. All right, y'all. Thank you for again an amazing show.
You got a VPN on, Will?
gone ahead and land the plane. If y'all choose to let them know about whatever classes you got going on, make it rock.
I'll go first because I got to get out of here.
That's it.
Guys, it's been a great show again tonight. Sometimes I love these shows. I hate to miss them. It's always an honor and a pleasure to hang out with everybody. My name is Jake Null. Some folks call me JD. Some people call me Jake. That's where he got that first comment tonight, Mr. JD. That was one of my students. That was a third generation student that I had. His great grandma, his mom, his sister, and then him. Anyway, I think I'll be having some concealed carry classes in March once I get some things lined out. And that's it, man. It's been great. Hopefully I'll see you all Wednesday. Hope you guys stay safe up there. Keep doing what you're doing because it matters. What you guys do matter. So keep doing it. Do it with a passion.
Yes, sir.
And I'll talk to y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Stay safe, buddy.
Hope we didn't make you feel uncomfortable.
I gotta go. I'm so uncomfortable. I gotta go. Y'all have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, y'all. We good?
We gotta mail him his black card. Come on, we gotta mail him his black card. Let's do it.
Jacob is cool as shit. So yeah,
he got a black card because he has a beard.
So now that's a race thing.
Shots fired
on Lori and them.
Can you tell us any more? Can you tell us any more stories about now?
On Lori and them.
On Lori and them. On Lori and them.
Lori and them.
You know that person is talking about a second term.
No,
no, that's over with. That's impossible. That's impossible.
They going to Can G to get them that 2 for 45 special on the soups.
I'm trying not to get blocked. I'm gonna get this shit. Y'all are doing too much. I can't stand your ass. What is this?
Hey, KD. Hey, you know it's low prices in the kids section.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Look,
them been a grown folk. You don't see how much be at the bottom. You go see the tailor in the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Them high school prom rental joints.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
I love you guys.
It's been a pleasure. I'm glad everybody stuck around. Learn those laws, dissect those laws. Hey, Mike, one day I'm gonna suggest that I got a couple of people that are in the legal realm, 2 judges and an attorney, and hopefully I can get them on and we can possibly have a discussion about legalities.
So it's not going to learn in them?
No, I ain't going to learn in them.
That would be nice. That would be nice to have on. To have a judge.
If I'm gonna reach out to him and I'm gonna see if I can get the judge on there. More than likely, it'll be a black screen or either just a regular picture, due to Crook County politics. Yeah. But I would love to get that other mindset as to the
tell them to win it. Tell them to wear a ski mask.
And change their voice.
No, they gotta speak. They gotta speak through somebody.
Listen.
Yeah.
What we're gonna talk about tonight is the laws of Cook County. So
listen.
I only have to say this once.
But we'll get it worked out.
This is cool effort.
I don't have any classes coming up right now. Unlike you guys, most of my classes are word of mouth, tailor made. What I am working on is custom engravings. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm.
Is that the machine that's always making noise?
Yes, sir. This is the product of the machine that's making noise.
Yeah, that's what he's doing his album cover.
Huh?
JD never missed.
That's me has that album color glow, that blue glow.
The blue.
Yeah, left my baby girl.
Yeah, that'd be my glow. This is what I've been working on. So
this entire time,
my time has gone. So
I thought it was a 3D printer.
That's coming up, but no, this is a laser engrave. But I'm gonna sign off with what I put on here. It says it's better to fight and to fall than to live without hope. There go my word for the day.
That's right. It is better to call and stall than to live without dope. You are so right. Listen.
You gonna get yourself banned on that one.
Y'all got my baby laughing. That's hilarious.
Oh.
My God.
But
All
gentlemen,
right.
take care. Have fun.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right, we're out.
Hey, Marquis, I heard what you did too.
Sounds bad.
I'm
What I
calling your
do?
phone.
Oh, bet. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna call your phone.
Yep, I know
Love
what you're talking about.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love
I'm trying to hear.
it. We still on live? Man, get us off live.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Oh,
That's why he said that.
my baby says bye, guys.
All right.
now.
Come back
We
to
can't see you because your dad ain't got a good phone.
Ho or a beard. All right, come back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. I'll see y'all.